Hi, everyone. Today we'll focus on TOEFL speaking delivery, specifically on mastering English rhythm, the musical aspect of the language. Have you ever noticed that you need to replay certain English words multiple times just to catch all the syllables? How is it that native speakers hear them effortlessly, while we often miss them unless we listen again and again? The reason is that English is stress-timed. Linguists typically categorize languages into two rhythm types: syllable-timed and stress-timed. Most languages around the world, such as Korean, Hindi, and Romance languages like Spanish, French, and Italian, are syllable-timed. This means that each syllable is spoken at an even pace, like chopping onions on a cutting board. English, however, is stress-timed. In stress-timed languages, stressed syllables occur at regular intervals, while unstressed syllables are shortened and compressed to fit within these beats. If you grew up speaking English natively, this rhythm comes naturally. But if you learned English later in life, you'll need to study its rhythm patterns to sound more natural. Dr. Burns' English prosody course is a great resource for understanding the theory behind English rhythm and melody. It's not just useful for TOEFL preparation, but also for improving overall comprehension and speaking clarity in everyday conversations. To speak with natural English rhythm, you need to know two things. 1. How to stress stressed syllables. 2. How to properly reduce unstressed syllables. Stressed syllables should be louder, higher in pitch, and longer, while unstressed syllables should be quieter, lower in pitch, and shorter. In our previous video on pitch levels, we explained that English has 4 pitch levels. Stressed syllables usually hit level 3, while unstressed ones stay at level 2. For example, in words like about and below, the rhythm follows a dum pattern. About, below. The first syllable is unstressed, quieter, lower, and shorter, while the second syllable is stressed, louder, higher, and longer. Since unstressed syllables are quieter and faster, non-native speakers often struggle to hear them in fast speech. This is one of the main reasons why listening comprehension is difficult for non-natives. If learners simply imitate only the syllables they hear clearly while ignoring the ones they miss, often the unstressed syllables, their speech will sound ungrammatical and out of sync. The key to mastering English rhythm is learning to pronounce unstressed syllables quickly and at a low pitch. This is especially important when multiple unstressed syllables occur between two stressed ones. To achieve this, native speakers rely on two key techniques: vowel centralization, elision. Mastering these techniques will help you not only sound more natural, but also improve your ability to understand native speech. Now, let's examine how they work with plenty of examples.
Vowel centralization. Vowel centralization means that unstressed vowels are pronounced in the center area of the vowel chart. I, and the schwa. Vowels pronounced in the center area are lax, reduced, weak, and less noticeable. For example, bean in dictionary pronunciation is bean. E is called a tense vowel, but when used in speech, it sounds like bin. These words also have the tense vowel E as their dictionary pronunciation. Be, he, me, she, and we. But when used in speech, their vowel may be the reduced form, I. Shiz, not she's. Hill, not heel. We're, not we're. Most commonly, unstressed vowels approach the mid-central vowel, called schwa, which sounds like a. Schwa occurs only in unstressed syllables. Schwa is characterized by such features as shortness, laxness, and central position. Schwa is not an exact sound, but a lazy sound used to facilitate fast speaking. Schwa happens in two cases: multisyllable words and function words. When a word has 2 or more syllables, the vowel of the stressed syllable is fully pronounced, but the vowel of the unstressed syllable is usually reduced to the schwa sound. America, America. Bacon, bacon. Ribbon, ribbon. Animals, animals. potato, potato, symbol, symbol, officer, officer, president, president. Function words are grammar particle words like articles, auxiliary verbs, pronouns, conjunctions, and prepositions. In a phrase or sentence, these function words are usually not stressed, so are greatly reduced. They are spoken quickly and unnoticeably. The degree of reduction depends on the rate of speech delivery. The faster the speech is, the greater the reduction is. These are some examples of function word reduction. Of, from, to, that, your. Syllable elision. Syllable elision means the dropping of unstressed syllables. An unstressed syllable can be elided when it comes right after or right before a stressed syllable. Due to syllable elision, common long words can lose a few unstressed syllables and become shorter words in casual speech. Consider camera and family. In the dictionary, these words are noted as having 3 syllables, camera and family. But in everyday speech situations, these words are pronounced as 2-syllable words, camera, family. In the dictionary, the word particularly has 5 syllables, particularly. But in everyday speech, it is spoken as a 4-syllable word, particularly, a 3-syllable word, particularly, or even 2-syllable word, particularly. These are words where syllable elision frequently happens. Actually, actually. Average, average. Camera, camera. Chocolate, chocolate. Comfortable, comfortable. Correct, correct. Desperate, desperate. Different, different. Family, family. Finally, finally. Groceries, groceries. History, history. Interest, interest. Jewelry, jewelry. Library, library. Mathematics, mathematics. Memory, memory. Natural, natural. Orange, orange. Police, police. Perhaps, perhaps. Preferable, preferable. Probably, probably. Separate, separate. Suppose, suppose. Temperature, temperature. Vegetable, vegetable. Phoneme dropping in function words. Phoneme dropping means some vowels or consonants of words are elided. Phoneme dropping happens frequently in function words, since function words are normally unstressed. These are examples of function words with some phonemes dropped. The words of, to, and have all tend to elide to nothing more than a schwa in fast conversational speech. I gotta do this. I might have done it. It has a lot of flowers. Is and has are reduced to s or z. She's nice. It's nice. She's a car. It's hair. Auxiliary verbs are normally reduced. For example, would, d. should, d. Could. I would do it. I could do it. Because is reduced and pronounced as cuz. I did it because you asked me to do it. The pronoun them tends to elide to after consonants. For example, ask 'em. Syllabic consonants. If the final consonant of a function word ends with nasals or liquids, that is, ung, they can become syllabic consonants. That is, the schwa before these consonants is dropped. For example, shall, from, am, can, than, will, for, and, These are sentences with the syllabic consonant function words. I shall do that. I'm from Korea. I'm fine. I'll have fish and chips. I need a locking key. H dropping. Function words that begin with H, i.e., he, his, him, her, has, had, and have, often have the hoof sound dropped. For example, is he happy? Tell him now. Tell her about it. It has been fine. It might have been me. The V in have also elides. It had left. Contractions. Contractions reduce the number of syllables by way of eliminating internal letters and sounds. Contractions often happen with the pronoun subject and an auxiliary verb pair or an auxiliary verb and the word not. A contraction is indicated by an apostrophe. Apostrophe S is used as a contracted form of is and has. It's nice here. Is. It's been nice here. Has. Apostrophe D is used as a contracted form of would or had. I'd eaten. Had. I'd eat. Would. When have is contracted, it sounds like of. Could've. Could've. Coulda. Coulda. Should've. Should've. Shoulda. Would've. Would've. Woulda. Must've. Must've. Musta. It could have been me. We should have been at home by now. It would have been such a good film. He must have eaten fish and chips. Negative contractions. Auxiliary verb plus not is often contracted. In the negative contractions, the vowels are not reduced to schwa, unlike affirmative contractions. That is, affirmative contractions are said quickly with their vowels reduced, but negative contractions have full vowel sound. For example, could has the weak form, could, but couldn't only has the form, couldn't. Similarly, are has the weak form, but aren't only has the form, aren't. Aren't, aren't. Don't, don't. Won't, won't. Doesn't, doesn't. Haven't, haven't. Isn't, isn't. Mustn't, mustn't. Can't, can't. Note that the ta in negative contractions usually is not audible. We can tell the negative contraction by the n sound. Because of this, can and can't can sound the same. The clue is that the positive form, can, is normally unstressed and is pronounced as kun. But the negative form, can't, is stressed and so clearly pronounced as can. For example, we can meet here. We can't meet here. I can do it. I can't do it.